Hi, guys, and welcome to episode 5 of our podcast, Better Ask Jay. This is a business entertainment podcast for business owners and startups in the UK. If you are a taxpayer in the UK and you are looking for a way to minimize your tax, so you are on the right stream now, and probably you have this, really good idea to grow your business globally. So, and probably you doesn't know where to start it. Yes, so then we can support you here in our podcast Better Ask Jay. On our side here are two experts. I'm Maria, your business development manager today, and with me is Jason Seagrave, our tax and finance expert. Hi, Jay.
Hi there, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. How are you doing?
Yeah, really good. It's the first day of autumn as far as I'm concerned today, so I'm ready to treat that as my new year.
Oh, okay, all right. So, what this is a sign do you have today? What this is a smile things we have on the corner?
Well, this is a little trophy that we're going to be giving out to the team members. We might talk about it later, or it might be in a future podcast. We'll have to wait and see. But it's a bit of a
Okay.
surprise for now.
Okay, so let me just remind to our target audience that we have a structure of our podcast. It's classical. We never change it, no matter what. So we will talk about the latest news which can influence on the business in the UK. This is our first section. Then we will talk about some updates from your side, Jay, about Secret French news. Section. And after that, the most treasurable bit is the question from our target audience. And we have a question today about the business and about the business expenses and etc. So let us start.
Okay.
Okay, right. So have you heard this news about the Chancellor Rachel Reeves? She gave a speech at her Labour Party conference last week. So, and she spoke about some things changing in our economy. But she made this really interesting quote in her speech. Right, she told recently that the upcoming budget, being a painful one, and as a result there has been speculation on where spending will be cut and tax raised, which may have affected consumer confidence. So we are waiting for the budget in the nearest weeks. Yeah, so Jay, what can it bring to the business really?
Okay, so the budget's going to happen on the 30th of October. So we've still got nearly a month until that happens. But yes, she said it's going to be painful. So that normally means that for business owners, they're going to feel it the most. So I do have a slight suspicion that maybe they're sort of letting rumours out and announcing things and letting things slip out to make us really worry, so that when it actually happens, we sort of breathe a sigh of relief and think, oh, it wasn't actually as bad as they we thought it might be. But I'm just going to sort of go through a few of the bits that the rumours are about and how they might affect people. So the first thing is capital gains tax. So capital gains tax is paid by taxpayers when they make a gain on an asset. So, if, for example, if you have a residential property that you rent out to let, when you sell that, you have to take away the price you paid for it versus the price that you sell it for, and you pay tax on that. At the moment, the rate of that is 28% in that example for residential properties. We're sort of thinking that maybe they may increase the rates. So the rumor is they're going to make the rates the same as income tax rates. So that would mean some people paying 40% or even 45% capital gains tax compared to the highest rate at the moment, which is 28%.
Okay, that's a bit painful, really.
Yes, painful is definitely the word. Now, the rate of capital gains tax years ago was the same as the income tax rate. It was 40%, but they made some changes to it back then, so that we used to get a thing called indexation allowance. So you didn't pay any tax or gain on any amount that your property or your asset increased that was a result of inflation. So when you did a calculation of what your gain was, you were able to sort of have a relief of any rise that was a result of inflation. So a few years ago, they abolished the inflation relief, and to compensate us for that, they reduced the tax rates. Okay, so that it wasn't such a big steep increase at the time by removing the rate. What I think the government is going to forget is this old inflation relief, and I think they'll be putting the rate up, but not giving us any relief for inflation. So that's going to be one of those things where they sort of sneak through, and a lot of taxpayers or normal people in the public won't understand that that's a really, really big change, and it's going to be quite expensive. So that's the first change that we worried about for capital gains tax. The other thing for capital gains tax is if you own a business at the moment and you sell it, there's a special rate of 10% capital gains tax on the first £1 million profit that you make on that gain. This leads back to when we used to have a thing called retirement relief, where they would give you, because you've been running a business all your life, when you sold it, you didn't have to pay the top rate of tax on that disposal. So at the moment, if you qualify, you pay 10% on the first £1 million, and that at one point that amount went all the way up to £10 million. It's a lifetime limit. It's the max. So if you could make £10 million worth of gain in a year, and only pay in your lifetime, and only make 10% tax. And a lot of people who run their own business have basically, planned their future based on this 10% rate. And that's in the firing line. We think it may be either reduced or the rate increased. We don't know, but that will be a shocker, because there's a lot of people who've been planning their business, the exit from their business, and only expecting to pay 10%. And a lot of those people could fall foul of this. So we've seen quite a lot of activity. People who are thinking about selling their business, they're selling them now before the 30th of October to make sure they get that beneficial rate.
Okay, it's not a lot of time, isn't it? And some
No.
people didn't realize. So that's such a small gap they have. Yeah,
Yeah,
to sort
yeah.
it out. Okay,
Yeah.
what other numbers we have there?
So that's capital gains tax and pensions. So at the moment, if you make a pension contribution into your pension, you can pay quite a generous amount of £60,000 a year, and that is, you get tax relief on that. So either you get money back off the government for the amount that you've paid in, or the amount that goes into your pension is increased by a percentage. So if you're a high rate taxpayer, it's very generous because it's relieved at the highest rate of tax you pay. So at the moment, you get this tax relief when you make a payment into your pension. Now, there's all sorts of rumours about this. One, that they're going to remove the tax relief entirely. Some rumours are that not only will they remove the tax relief, you'll pay tax on any amount that goes into your pension. So that's going from a relief to a charge, which is very frightening. Or they'll reduce the amount that you can pay into your pension in a year and have that tax relief. Or they might reduce the amount you can pay into your pension over your lifetime. So there are lots of sort of tough things going on there. And again, what people seem to forget when they're talking about tax relief on pensions is that when you draw down on your pension, you pay tax on that. So that was the reason that people were sort of encouraged to pay into their pension by giving them tax relief, was that this is their own money. So you pay money into a pension now. When you draw it out, it's treated as income. So if you start having to pay tax when you pay it in, or not get the tax relief when you pay it into your pension, I think this is going to be a real problem for people who want to save for their retirement, because it's going to be much more expensive. And it's almost a sort of stealth tax because, people don't sort of realise what's going on. They pay their money into their pension. They don't see the tax relief that goes in there automatically. And then, of course, the pension grows. And so, it's one of those things which doesn't hit people straight away in their pocket. And so it might be one that they'll sort of get away with. Remember, though, these are all rumours. None of this is fact. It's just what we're hearing that they might do.
Okay.
Because governments these days, they like to leak what they're going to do so that it's not quite such a shock when it's received. So that's pensions. The last area to sort of think about is inheritance tax. So inheritance tax is a tax that the estate pays if somebody dies. And if you've got a married couple at the moment and their estate is worth £1 million, then the chances are they won't pay any inheritance tax. Now, but inheritance tax is charged at 40%. It's a completely flat rate. It doesn't matter how much money you're earning. It's basically 40% of the amount that's over that £1 million. So the rumours we've got here are that they might increase the rate, which seems unlikely because it's quite a high rate already. They may remove this allowance. So at the moment you can have £1 million and you don't pay anything. Maybe they'll bring that down. Also, if you make a gift to your family in the 7 years before you die, some of that can be outside the scope of your inheritance tax estate. So if Maria, if you were to leave your children £1 million today and you survived 7 years, that gift would not form part of your estate and you wouldn't pay any inheritance tax on it.
Well, to be honest, Jay, I really can't estimate when I will die, okay? That's not a problem to leave them 1 million, but I don't know, probably COVID will arrive or probably a car accident will, happen with me. This is an issue, isn't it?
Yeah, but if you're still relatively young, so you could sensibly make a payment like that to your children, and on the balance of probabilities, you're probably going to live another 7 years, and so that's money that's outside your estate. Well, that's called a potentially exempt transfer, and the rumor is they might remove that.
Jesus Christ! So this is a call of action to everybody who are just about thinking about their heritage tax. Guys, don't put it away to some schedule list of your tasks. Just do that now, sort it out now, and afterwards you will save. Can you imagine 40% from each 1 million? Isn't it each or just one?
Yes, 400,000. If you give away £1 million.
Christ. Yeah. Oh, Jesus Christ. Can you imagine this absolutely impossible amount of the money you can save now if you will do that in a smarter way? Just don't put it away, please. Don't miss around it.
Yeah. So and then there's one final thing on inheritance tax. So there's quite a sensible relief out there at the moment called business asset relief. So if you've got a business and you die, then without this relief, the value of the business would form part of your estate for inheritance tax. So let's say you've got a business that's worth £5 million and you die in a car accident unexpectedly. Okay. Without the business asset relief, your estate would have to pay 40% tax on that £5 million, which is £2 million. Okay. Now, under those circumstances, the family are unlikely to have that money. So the only way they could find that £2 million would be to sell the business. So that's what would normally happen. But at the moment, there's a relief called business asset relief, which allows, in those circumstances, the business to be excluded from the estate. And it's the same for agricultural land as well, for farmers and things like that. So it's very sensible. At the moment, business assets, an unlimited amount of business assets, are exempt from inheritance tax. So that's a real saving. But one of the rumours is that that's something that might be on the cards for being removed. So it could be they could set a limit on it, how much you could have for business asset relief, or they might abolish it altogether. My view would be disastrous for the economy, because I'm not sure how these families would find those funds to pay the inheritance tax. So that is the pain that we're worried about receiving at the end of October. And as I've said, I've got this feeling that they're basically trying to make us worry about this and make us worry about what's going to happen, so that when it's not quite as bad, we breathe a sigh of relief. Some people are saying they won't bring all of this in this year, but it might come in future years. But certainly there's going to be some big changes.
Oh, thank you very much for sharing. That's very sensitive, isn't it? Sensitive topic to discuss, but thank you. So, what we're going to do, I think, just after the budget will arrive after 13th of October, we will record another episode just to reflect and just to analyze all the changes which will arrive, not based on the rumors, right, not based on the guessing, but based on the real document. How about that, Jay?
Yeah, definitely. There'll be a lot to talk about, I think.
Yeah, we just need to talk it out, just to reflect what we are facing with and how we need to deal with that. Brilliant. Thank you very much. I really highly concerned now about my heritage tax and about my millions, which I need to share with my children, unfortunately. But probably I will find the way how to sort it out before this budget will arrive. Thank you very much for sharing. And I would like now to move to our next section, to the updates of Seagrave French accountants and business advisors. So let me just probably to start with this a bit news that you guys just open a new office in Cheshire East. You're trying to do that, or what is going on that field? Jay.
Yeah, well, we've always been based in Nottingham and Birmingham, but we've identified that sort of Cheshire East, round the Stoke area, that sort of M6 corridor, that there might be quite a lot of businesses that could benefit from our help. So we've decided that we're now going to market to those. So we're accepting clients from those areas, and we're actively seeking leads from that area, so that we can grow our business over there.
Okay, that's great, isn't it? So, do you see any potential prospects in Knutsford, Alsager, Crewe, Stoke-on-Trent, and that area, or your kind of think about more about this Cheshire direction? What exactly you're talking about? Because Cheshire East is quite a big area. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it's all around that Cheshire area. There's some good businesses. There's some good sort of wealth around there, and they could definitely benefit from our help. So yeah, it's sort of around that area. Probably 30 to 40 mile radius.
Right. Oh, okay. That's really cool. Okay. So, what else do you have as an update, guys? So, would you like to share something else?
Well, we've had this little idea that we're going to have a little conker competition in the office. So that's what this guy is. This is the trophy. So I'm really keen on this thing about autumn. I think autumn is much better than the new year for sort of making changes to your business. So in the new year, you start back after Christmas. You've eaten too much. You've drunk too much. You've only had a couple of days off. It's dark. It's miserable, and so I think that's a terrible time to sort of do some New Year's resolutions. And so most people stop their New Year's resolutions, once they get to the halfway through January. But in the autumn, hopefully you've had some fresh air in the summer. You've had a proper break, 2 weeks off, or if you're lucky, even more. You might have had a bit of sun on your face and on your back, and you're coming back, and everybody's like rearing to go. Everybody's back on holiday. No one, in the summer, people are all on their holidays, so you can't get anything done. You come back in autumn. Everybody's at their desk. Everybody's excited. There's this back to school feeling, and I think it should be celebrated. So we're celebrating it by having a theme based around autumn, which is a conch competition. So we've got a little trophy, and in the next few weeks we'll have our competition, and we'll reveal the winner on our podcast and on our all the other social media.
Oh, okay. That's really exciting. Thank you. What about this TikTok trend? I just noticed recently. Okay, so we all belong to this dopamine nation now, that we're scrolling all the time the social media, just chasing some inspiration and some ideas. So, and I literally found out on TikTok that you guys starting to dance in the morning. You just pick up one song and you're just dancing over there, and I found this idea absolutely inspiring. This is so cool, isn't it? Because this is a little
Yeah. So
boring.
I read a book called Bulletproof. So how to become bulletproof, and one of the sort of things in there was to use music as a way to get yourself motivated in the morning. So had this chat with the team, and so what happens is somebody picks a song, and we do a little dance to it.
Right.
And
Okay.
if it's not too embarrassing, we put it on our TikTok channel. The
Okay.
last one got 9,000 views.
Jesus. Oh my God. Do you think this is really, really depend on the song? So what the
Well,
sing?
I know why you're asking that, Maria, because you picked the last song,
I
and that was
know,
the
I know.
that
You can't deny that I'm talented, beautiful, absolutely astonishing business development manager. You can't deny this fact. But this is a thing. My opinion, right, is because I pick up the right song. This is a trend song. Okay, this is a
yeah.
provocative song, and all these guys who are kind of these mates like 14, 16 years old, they all about that. They're not really bothered what are you talking about. They really keen how are you dancing there. Okay,
Mm,
this is
yeah.
the main message for me. So this is all this short video is about. Okay, all right. Anyway, I have to move forward to the question to the last section on our podcast today, guys. So, and we have this better ask Jay at gmail.com, our email, and you are more than welcome to write to us any question you have there. Also, we have a WhatsApp, so that's absolutely for free. Just find our WhatsApp and message us with all your questions you have there, and we will more than happy to answer. So today we have a question from Matthew, right? And he Matthew is still working full time at the moment, but he's looking at going advanced so he can go self-employed self-employed, sorry, next year. He's just wondering, when buying a van, most prices are, for example, like 20,000 pounds plus VAT, and some are sold without VAT. Would he be able to claim any of this back when he get up and running, or do he to be registered the claim back on a vehicle? Sorry for a little bit, not formulate question, but hopefully you got it. It's really
Yeah.
close to his quote. So can
Yeah.
you answer on this question, please?
Yes. So, first of all, whether or not you get charged on the VAT on a van is determined by the person that's selling it. So, if you're buying that from a van dealer or a van seller or a car dealer, unless they're very small, they will charge you VAT on a van because it's a commercial vehicle. If you're buying it from a private person, or a small business, maybe a guy who is a plumber and who isn't VAT registered, they don't have to charge you VAT. Okay, so it's not up to you whether or not you get charged VAT. It's determined by the person that's selling you the van. So if you do get charged VAT on a van, you can recover that VAT, but only if you register for VAT yourself.
Right.
Now, you don't have to register for VAT until your turnover is over £90,000 a year, but you can register voluntarily with any level of turnover. But that does mean you'll have to charge VAT to your customers. So then it depends on who your customers are. Because if your customers are other businesses who are VAT registered, then it doesn't matter. They don't care whether or not you're VAT registered, because they can recover the VAT that you charge them. But if your customers are individuals, then you will be 20% more expensive than your competitors, because your competitors won't be charging you VAT. So basically, it depends on what your supplier treatment is and what your own circumstances are. If you aren't VAT registered, then I would buy from a private sale or someone who isn't going to charge you VAT, because that will make it cheaper and you won't have to recover that VAT. Now, when it comes to the actual price of the van, you can claim the price of the van against your tax as a deduction, as if it were an expense. And at the moment, you can do that in full in the first year that you buy the van. And it doesn't matter if you're paying for it on a hire purchase or a loan or something like that. If you've purchased it and you own the van, then if you pay £20,000 for it, in the first year that you have that van, you can deduct the price of that van from your profits. Now, and also, if you'd paid £24,000 because you'd paid VAT on it and you weren't able to reclaim it, the £24,000 would be the amount that you could reclaim against your profits, because that was the real cost to you. So yeah, there's two parts to it. There's how much you can deduct from your tax, which is which from your profits to work out your tax. That's the 20,000. And then there's whether or not you can recover the VAT. So hopefully that answers Matthew's question. We do offer a free initial meeting, so if anyone's got questions, it's better to talk about your specific circumstances. But under those circumstances, that would be the situation.
Yeah, thank you very much indeed for providing this answer for the Matthew. I think we have no more question for today from our public, from our public, and. Guys, I will be very appreciate you to follow us, yeah, to leave any comments and to make a review on our job today, because that's really a big hug for our team, and it's a big reward for our team, and motivate us to do more quality content for you guys. And I just would like to make a little announce, because we're going to stream this podcast not only on Spotify platform but on YouTube as well. So you're more than welcome to follow us on YouTube, to comment us, to probably to make any kind of sharing with your friends, and probably it will be help them to grow their business and to be to feeling more safe, yeah, in a more better place that they are now. So I just would like to motivate you guys to do that for everybody you love, as well. And I just let me, Jay, to make this comment about our next topic for our podcast. As I mentioned before, we're going to talk about the budget, which we are waiting to be to launch on 13th of October. That's very serious topic to discuss. And if you guys have any question about it, if you are worried about something, you always more than welcome to book a free consultation, complimentary, absolutely complimentary, from Seagrave and French on their website or social media. That's not an advertisement, sorry guys. This is absolutely volunteering job ever. So this is for free. We're not charging for this. Yeah. So okay, Jay. So are you happy with this episode today? Would you like
Yeah,
to?
I think it went very well. Yeah, we got over the information on the budget, which is important stuff. So brilliant.
Right, we can now relieve a little bit. Okay, okie dokie. So I would like to say goodbye to everybody. Thank you for listening us today. Thank you for being with us today. I wish you to have a lovely autumn day, and let's meet the other next 2 weeks. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Goodbye, everyone. Have a good week. Any questions, please email in, and we'll answer them for you.